got me rolling on my sleeve, okay. Waiting cause I'm upping up the fees. Whole team got these on their tees all day. I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin' when I upped it, I'ma squeeze.
I'm above average.
Victory, gold on my neck, Mr. T. Victory, zombie gang rapping that NYC. Victory, ice on my neck like a little weak. We run like a paraclete. It's on earth, but it's where I be. Money over on my headstone. Here lies them getting paid, but never take a loss on my headstone. Only take a when I'm dead. Zombie gang 3 times on my headstone. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on a headstone. Too late, you already there. Imagine when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts to turn to dream. Cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. Put your favorite rapper's name up on the headstone. Big for the cheese and you're dead wrong. Propaganda set the standards in the tear down.
Throw it back, yeah, I'm born to it's talking, it's hustling me where I'm at. I'm living how I want now. No reason to look out, it's clear to see. All eyes on me for 100 degrees. Who am I? Ruthless, easy, does it. In public, hated to love it. The underdogs with liquor swabs. It was written in my diary to start a war. I'm feeling infamous, immortal with my technique.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now it's Rudolph off the bootleg. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Back to the air, Rudolph on second down, and incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, you know, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Detroit!
Throwing on third down, here's Rudolph. Flush to his right. And now another one thrown incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away.
Lucky 56. Now let's go. 319.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now Landry, agile footwork. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Rudolph looking to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he is going to lose yardage here. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, Can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And, boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Set him back 5. Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. On the move to his left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Rudolph. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. From the 50, it's Rudolph. Trying to lay one up deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and 5.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Here's Rudolph. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Rudolph. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now Rudolph going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Set! 319! 319! All right, now look at this.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Landry now on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Rudolph throwing again. Landry brushes him off. And he comes back with one complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Rudolph on 1st down. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that hits the crossbar and comes back no good. And by just a couple of inches, this remains a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a gain of 8, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to Heinz Field after this.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Chapman. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
They'll set up to throw. On the completion, this is Carey. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, land it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. And Bullock will put this one through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, escaping the pressure right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Gun!
After the run, Rudolph now going to throw to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, a 22. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
the gun. Here's Rudolph. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Now it's Rudolph. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carl Lawson able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Nothing separating these 2 teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Detroit! Detroit!
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And able to find Green. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was something a guy who couldn't run anymore.
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Rudolph. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Landry, the intended target. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end.
Set! 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll run it here. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict. He was looking for Landry that time. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up An exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Gurley again here on first down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Set. 3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep. Back open. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to the air. Rudolph on second down. And McDonald here over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit. Detroit.
On first and 10, Rudolph steps away to his left. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
He'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's McDonald. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot. Gone.
They'll look to throw. And James has it. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Gone.
He's back to throw. James has got it. Complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Back to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1 is tempted to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd, carry it into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
Green 39! Green 39! Detroit! Detroit!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and that changes everything here in OT. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Forced out to his left. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is third down and 12.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
First throw in overtime for Rudolph. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be fourth down. The defense does its job. Now they're going to get the ball here in overtime with a chance to win it.
Major league kudos to them, because to get the ball back in this spot, everything was on them. It had to happen, and they pulled it off. They'll get it back for their offense with a chance to win.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Oh, he sheds himself free. The 30. Past the 20. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Cincinnati, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Somebody call for the queen.